Hi E10, this is a series of videos to show you how to draw your dragon. So first from Onshape, which is cad.onshape.com/sign in. Hopefully you've made an account. If you haven't, sign up here, follow all the prompts. So I'll just sign in quickly. And the first thing we want to do is create a folder. So up here, top left, drop down, create folder. I'm just going to call mine dragon video. You can name yours your name. Create. And now I have a folder here just for this video, for this drawing. So I'm going to double click to open this one. Okay, and now I want to go to create document, and that's going to create that document in that folder. Okay, Dragon 2 for me, you can just call yours Dragon. Create. So this will prompt a change in our screen to go to the sketch panel, and it opens up and it's got the planes. So from the front view, the top view, and the right view. And those are important for when we start sketching. So in this video, you're going to see me switching between our written instructions and this screen, and just walking you through it. So in our instructions, the first part we need to draw is this base enclosure. That's what it's called all the way up here, base enclosure. That's going to be the name of our folder. And then these are going to be our part studio. So let's do that first. So down the bottom here, you've got a plus. You can go create folder. It pops up here, and I'm going to select, or I'm going to rename it base enclosure. Okay, enter. Now if I click on that, you get this tree building. So I've got home, base enclosure, and within base enclosure, I'm going to now add a part studio. And it adds it to the tree of that folder. Okay, so folder, within there's part studio 1. I'm going to right click, which is a 2-finger click on your trackpad if it's a Mac. And I'm going to hit rename, and I'm going to call that top. Okay, so I'm keeping those same naming conventions as our written instructions. Enter. Okay, so switching back to our written instructions here, we need to draw this so it ends up looking like this. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down here. I'm first looking for our dimensions. There it is. So I'm just going to take some quick notes on a bit of paper. I've got one rectangle that is 150 millimeters wide. That's this one here, from this point to this point, and it's 50 millimeters high. The second rectangle running up and down is 120. And the width of it is 20. They're symmetrical, okay? So they pass through each other through there and there. So back in Onshape, we first need to hit the sketch option, and then it gives you an Alt key here. It tells you select the sketch plane. So when you hover over them, they turn orange or yellow outline. Once you are on the one you want, just click on it, left click. And then if you hit the letter N on your keyboard, it switches to that view so you can see it straight on. Okay. Once we'd hit sketch, you will notice these tools pop up now to sketch with. And we've got our rectangle here and the drop down next to it. You can make sure you're on the center point rectangle. Cool. So we can just move our mouse, you're not clicking and holding, and then just click on the origin and move out. Do not click and hold. Now you can try and get it spot on or really close. I don't bother, so I just click, and you'll see down here this dimension is active. You can start typing. You don't have to click or anything, just start typing. So for that rectangle, it was 20 wide. Enter on the keyboard, and it switches to the next dimension that you can change. So I need to make that one 120. Enter, it's locked in. So now I'm going to select the center rectangle again. I'm going to click on the origin point. I'll just move my trackpad out and then click somewhere. The bottom dimension's highlighted. and I need to make that one 150. Enter, and that next one was 50, so type that in, enter. We can straight away get rid of this line in here, this one, this one, this one, and the scissor tool here, if you just hover on it, the Alt tag pops up and it says trim bracket M bracket. The M's the shortcut, so if you just click M on your keyboard, it highlights and you can trim straight away. So learning those hotkeys will make life a little bit easier for you. Okay, let's just switch back to our Word doc. Scroll, 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 scroll. There's the scissors, we trimmed that. And while we're in this sketch view, we want to draw these two rectangles, okay? So the one in the dead center is 12 millimeters high, and it is 4 millimeters wide. And the one down the bottom is 7 millimeters from the base, and it's 4 millimeters wide, and it's 10 millimeters high. Okay, I just jotted that down on a bit of paper so I can keep on moving. Now I do this a little bit different to what the instructions say, so I'll show you my way, because I like doing things the easy way. So far it's just repetition, so it is the center point rectangle again. Draw this one, click, and we can tell that it's 4 millimeters wide, enter, it's 12 millimeters high, enter. That one's done. I'll just zoom in a little for you. So to zoom on my trackpad, 2 fingers downwards. It may be different on yours, so I'm sure you'll figure that out really quickly. I'll just quickly switch back because I forgot to write down one dimension, 10 by 4. That one was 10. Now I do this as a trick for the next one. I go and use my line tool, and I'm first working out this section here because I want to just start from here and draw. I need to find out how far that is. I know from the bottom, from here to here is 7, and I know from here to here is 5 because it's the center of 10, so halfway. 5 plus 7, 12. So the center point of that rectangle is 12 mil up. So I'm just going to use the line tool to draw a line that's going to be a construction line. So from the center here, click on line, and on the center line, click, and I move my mouse up, I click, and now I can type in that dimension, and I wanted that to be 12, enter. Okay, escape turns that tool off. So now I've got a starting point. I can come back to here and use my center point rectangle, click, click, and I needed that one to be 4 mil wide, enter. I need that one to be 10 mil high, enter. Trim, so sorry, not T, M on the keyboard. Okay, escape to turn the tool off, and I've got those two rectangles drawn there. Let's switch back to our instructions. So, it wants us now to use a 3-point arc to draw an arc from there to there. Okay. And it's saying the design calls for a 2 millimeter radius, which means the arc will be a semicircle drawn on the end of the rectangle. And it's given us the hint that if the tangent symbol appears, which is this one, we don't really want to lock it into there. We're better off typing in our 2 millimeter radius. So let's have a go at that. And I've got a feeling I'm just going to skip forward a little. That we're doing that on the top and the bottom of each of those. Okay. let's have a go. So I'm still in the sketch plane, and in our circle tool, there it is there, sorry, next to the circle, our tangent arc, and we can have a 3-point arc. We want that one, okay? So I'm just going to zoom in here. First point, second point. I'm just going to go really big, okay? And it's asking for the radius of 2. Enter. Done, okay? So I did not try and lock it in straight away on a tangent symbol. I made sure, click on the start point, click on the end point. Better make sure I've got the tool selected. Click on the start point, click on the end point, come out nice and big, just type 2, enter. I can click M on the keyboard to trim. Whoops, wrong way. Zoom out, I'm going to zoom in on the bottom one, and I'm going to do the same down here. So 3-point arc, click on the start point, click on the end point, drag him out the direction you want, 2, enter, same again, he's selected his blue, click, first point, click the second point, come out in the direction you want it, and then click 2, enter. M for trim. I've no idea why it's an M for trim and not a T for trim. So M, that's those 2 done. Okay. I think it wants another one up here, but I think it wants us to try and use the mirror tool. So let's jump back to our instructions. Okay, so that's our mirror tool there. Looks pretty simple. It's one shape mirrored on that line, symmetry. And we start by selecting the tool, and it will pop up asking us for a mirror line, and we want to select the blue axis. Okay, that passes through the origin point. In the image below, it's highlighted in gold. So that one, okay. And then it will ask us to select the entities or the parts of the drawing you want to be mirrored. So let's give it a go, see what happens. Okay. We don't have, there it is, mirror. Select a mirror line, this one. Select entities to be mirrored. Just going to zoom in down here. This one, this one, this one, this one. Oh, did it straight away. Okay. Let's check back in. That's what we've got so far. And the next thing it wants us to do is draw the 4 holes to either end of the wider part of the cross shape. So we're looking at using a center point circle. The design calls for a 3.2 millimeter hole. 3.2 millimeter. And that is in the diameter. Okay, they're 10 mil from the top edge, and from the side edges, 5 millimeters. I believe it wants 4 of those from memory. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if we're clever, we only have to draw 1. Let's give that a go. Okay, so I'm still in my original sketch mode. I'm going to come up and I'm just going to draw one somewhere here. Circle tool, somewhere here. Not even close, but I can type in my diameter of 3.2 millimeters, enter on the keyboard. There it is. Now, to move this to its position, we use the dimensioning tool, which is this one. Okay, this is something that was confusing for me coming from Fusion across to Onshape. So, you click on the center point of the circle. It's highlighted in gold there. And then this one. And then I move my mouse out and click somewhere. And now I can type how far I want that distance to be, which was 10, enter. and it moves a circle. I can do the same thing left to right. So dimension, center point, this one, place it up here, and I need that to be 5 mil. Enter. Now technically I can just mirror this into position now. So I'll zoom out, I'm going to hit the mirror key, select the mirror line, this one first, select the entity, that one. Okay, popped it down there. Now I can select that again, select a mirror line, this one, and select the entities, that one, it appeared on the left already, that one, there it is. So I only had to draw one circle, position that one, then I could use the mirror tool to do the rest. Let's have a look at what's next. An extrusion function. Extrude means to make something 3D, and that's what it looks like. It's the two prisms there. Okay. So we're trying to raise the thickness of this shape. Solid, new, we have to change the depth, and it's 5 millimeters thick. Let's have a go at that. So I'm going to click Finish Sketch now, and I'm going to click on Extrude. Solid, new, I'm going to pick that shape, and you can see it's just turned grey, that solid shape, not those parts within there, or within the circles. And 25 mil, I'm going to change that to 5, enter, or click on the green tick. Doesn't look like anything happened, but if you come over here to this little cube and you click on trimetric, you can see it there. Okay, that's 5 mil thick. Back to our instructions. Okay, and now wants us to start drawing some additional details on here. So now that we have a 3D shape, we can actually, when we click sketch, instead of picking the front, the top, or the side plane, you can click on a surface, and this is the one it wants us to use. Okay, and it's given us some dimensions here. We want a 2 diameter hole, that's 12 mil in from the edge, 2.5 mil. So this isn't anything new. So I'm just doing a quick sketch on a bit of paper here. 2.5 mil diameter, 12 mil in from the edge, 2.5 mil in from the top or the bottom. It's in the center. And while we're in here, it wants us to do an extrusion. Okay, it automatically goes to add, but we actually want to do a removal so that it goes the other way through the shape. Okay, and I think it gives us a full distance here, which should be 20 millimeters. There it is, because that's the width of that rectangle that we drew in the first instance. Okay, so that's going to end up with one there and one there. Let's give it a go. So, back to basics. Sketch. I'm just going to close that so you can see my options coming up. Select the sketch plane, or you can select a surface. So I'm going to click on that one there. Click N on your keyboard, and now I can see it. I'm just going to zoom in. So 2 fingers down on my trackpad, 2 up to go out. I'm going to draw a circle here somewhere. We wanted a diameter of 2.5. Enter, and I'm going to use the dimension tool to move from here to here, place it out there, and that distance was 12. Enter. From here to here, 2.5. Enter. That's exactly what I want. I want the same on here. Now I could go through all those steps again, or let's use the mirror tool again. Mirror on this line, select the entity, that one, and there it is. Okay, so now we can go and do our extrusion. I might just click done here for the sketch. I'm going to go back to the trimetric view, Just going to zoom in a little to make life easier to select these circles. Extrusion. And we're going to do a removal. That one. That one. Just make sure you're not getting in the face as well. And you can see those arrows, it's actually already drawn it back, but we're going to make sure it's just going to be that deep, not that deep. So we're just going to change that depth there to 20 millimeters. Enter, or just click the tick. Okay, that's those two done. You can see it's gone from there all the way through. You could shift your drawing around if you really wanted to check. Okay, back to trimetric. Okay, I do believe there's a little bit more detail. Let's just check. Might not be. Done, 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 done. Finish the extrusion. Remember to rename the part studio with a name for the top. I think we did that already. And we're up to doing the sides. Okay, so this is still within the base enclosure. So back in Onshape, base enclosure. The plus, part studio. It's still within base enclosure, and we're going to right click, rename, and call this one sides. Enter. Okay, let's have a look at what they want this to look like. Pretty simple. So, just redrawing that on a bit of paper so I don't have to flick back as often. So we've got the height of that block is 50 millimeters. You can see that here, top to bottom, 50 millimeters. The through hole, and I know it goes the whole way through because if I look at the side view where it's cut through to show it, it shows that that's a curved surface here. These hatched lines means that that's a flat surface. This is curved, so it's gone the whole way through the depth of the whole block. So it is 20 mil down from the top. Okay, that's shown there to there. It's got a diameter of 6.5 millimeters shown here, so between that arrowhead and that one. And it's not written on here, but I've made a wild assumption that it's halfway between here and here. So we're saying it's 25 millimeters in. Okay. Now from the top view, we've got two holes. Do they go the whole way through? Let's look at this view. They go 10 mil deep. Okay. 10 mil deep. Just drawing in some hidden detail. Okay, so let's try and draw this, just one of them. Switching back to Onshape. And I thought I read the first time it told us which side. Best drawn from the right plane. Sketch, right plane, click N on your keyboard, we're ready to draw. So I'm going to start with a rectangle, the center point rectangle. Click, move your mouse out, click the highlighted dimension is 50 millimeters, was it? Yep. Enter, and the height was also 50. Enter. Okay, I can switch to my circle, zoom in, it's going to draw him here, click, click, diameter 6.5, enter, and I'm going to move him into position using the dimension tool. So I want to get from there to there, and he's going to be 25. Type 25, enter, and I want to move him from here to here, so that dimension is 10 millimeters. Enter. Perfect. Okay. I'm ready now to extrude that block. So finish the sketch, extrude, pick the surface, that one. It is a solid, and the depth of that block, I did not do that, 10 millimeters. Enter, tick. Let's go to the trimetric view. There it is. Now I need to draw two circles on here and here. So sketch, select that surface, N on your keyboard, and let's see where these are positioned. So from the top view, the diameter of them is 2.5. They are 10 mil in from the edge, from here to here. And they are halfway, so 5 from the other edge. So I should only have to draw one of these. Circle, click, click, 2.5 diameter, enter, let's move them into position. Okay, dimension tool, from here to here, we want that to be 5, enter, and from here to here, we want that to be 10, enter, done. Okay, now we can use the mirror tool, which is here, mirror, select a mirror line, that one, select the entities, that one, done. Click, tick, extrude. What do we want to extrude? That one and that one. It's going to be a removal, and it's going to be 10 mil deep from what our instructions said. Done. Tick. Let's go back to our trimetric view. Okay, we can, oops. There they are. Okay. Yeah, if you've got good eyesight, you'll see it's got the base in there. Okay, back to trimetric. That's done. Let's have a look at the rest of the instructions for the side piece. And we're up to the next part studio within our base enclosure. Okay, switching back to Onshape, we're going to go New, Part Studio, and we're going to call this one, I think it said base, didn't it? Right click, rename base, done. And back to our instructions, and you have to be careful with this one, okay? This part finishes off the base enclosure. The hole tool is used to create the counter bore, so you basically got two circles, one goes the whole way through, and the bigger one only goes part way through, to allow for the base to be screwed onto the sides. This part should be drawn on the top plane centered in the same way as the top. The view here is from the underside. This is important, okay? So that you can see where the counterboard holes are and what they look like. Super important. So let's have a look at this drawing. we've got a rectangle there, a large one that's 150 millimeters wide and a height of 50 millimeters. Okay. Now we've got 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these tiny ones will be the ones that go the whole way through. Okay, whole way through. From the underneath side, just remember that. And from the underneath side, these larger ones have got those 4 circles there are 3.2 millimeters diameter. And they are 10 mil up and down from top and bottom. And they are 5 millimeters in, bumped my mic, 5 millimeters in from the sides. And they're the ones that go the whole way through. From the underneath side, these circles here have an 8 millimeter diameter. But they have a depth here of 5 millimeters. Okay, the thickness of the plate, 10 millimeters. Let's give this a go. So, sketch from the top view, going back to my center point rectangle, click N. The length of that was 150, we said. Enter. That was 50. Enter. I'm going to extrude this now. That one, depth of 10. Enter. Trimetric. There it is. This part's super important. Whoops, this up arrow. That's the underneath side. That's the surface we need to draw on next. Sketch. Pick the underneath side. Click N. And it's spun, so we're looking at the underneath side now. So, I'm going to draw the 3.2 millimeter hole that goes the whole way through first. .2. Dimension tool so that I can move it around from the center point to there. 5 millimeters. So place it and then type 5, enter. And from the center point to here, I'll place that out there and click. I want to make that 10 millimeters. Enter. I can now mirror this. Mirror, select the line, this one, whoops, that one. Select the entity, that one. There it is. I can do this again to move them over there. Okay, zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. Mirror line, this one, that, and that. Be very careful when you click in what you've actually got highlighted. I can do my extrusion. Sorry, let me start that again. Zoom in a little more, my extrusion. It's going to be a removal. Yep, got to be super careful. I need that one, that one, that one. I'm just making sure it's only got the circle highlighted, not the rectangle as well. That one. To a depth of the thickness of that base plate, which is 10 millimeters. Okay, tick, done. Okay, I now need to draw the diameter 8 circles with the same center point, but they're going to be extruded to a depth of 5 millimeters. Let's give it a go. Sketch. on this face here with a center point circle from there to there, and we're changing that to 8, enter. Okay, I can use the mirror tool again. Select the mirror line, this one, there we go. Select a mirror line, this one, based on that and that. Okay, done. Let's do our extrusion of, be careful what we've got selected. That one. Oh, hang on a second. Extrude, remove. Very touchy. Let's try that. I don't think it's going to matter. I'll just zoom out a little. Get it over that side of my screen more. Extrude, remove. That one. Just trying to make sure it's not getting the rectangle as well. And we said that that depth was 5. Tick. So from the top, that's what we see. From underneath, that's what we can see. We can see it's only gone part depth, which was the 5 that we set. Okay. So we've got our base enclosure folder with our top, our side, our base. Now, every single change you do, it saves this automatically. Okay. So let's have a look now. We did all this. The next folder you need to make is for your crankshaft. Now your crankshaft is going to be made up of a lot of different parts here. So I might actually start this in a second video.